for 5 marks. We've got the final two. Okay, so we've got 2.2.1 to do for 5 marks and 2.2.2 for 4 marks. Then we're done. So let's see how it goes. Okay, we've got this seemingly sort of fancy, sort of intimidating sequence here, but we need not be. Okay. What they ask is to calculate the value of the 15th term of the sequence, right? So what do we know? What do you think we need? Well, I would guess that we need some kind of generic term, right? So that we can just go and put into the value of n 15 and compute the value, right? So our first task is to come up with a sort of a generic formula for this sequence. Cool. We're going to start off by doing that. Let's see what we possibly could need. Well, a good place to start off is the fact that we could calculate the difference between these terms, right? That's one thing we can do. Okay, we're going to call this D1 again and D2. Okay, another thing is we know that these differences should be equal, right? And then, because we have this neat property over here, we can solve this unknown k. So that'll be a good place to start off with. So just first get a handle on what k might be. Okay, let's do that. We're going to start off, and I'm going to do it here in the left-hand corner. I'm going to do D1. That equals, well, let me just see. Well, we said k plus 8 minus, well, brackets, 2k minus 7. Okay, and if I have to rearrange all of this jumbly-wumbly, we can get, I'll write it out neatly now. K minus 2k plus 8 plus 7. So we have minus k plus 15. Okay, that's the first distance. Okay, and we're going to do the same here in this corner still for the second distance. We've got 2k minus 1 minus k plus 8. Cool. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and write the answer here a bit. That's k minus 9. You can figure that out. I'm sure you'll manage. Cool. So, what we know now is this property we're going to use to solve k. So, d1 equals d2. So we have k minus 15 minus k plus 15, sorry. And that equals k minus 9. I've got everything right at the moment. Okay, cool. I'm going to bring that k over, so I have a, let's say we have a minus party, right? So I have a minus 2k, and that is minus 9 minus 15, that's minus 24. Okay, and then we sort of divide by, we cancel out the minuses and we divide by 2, so we have k equals 12. Okay, first big thing to reach is the value of k. Okay, once we have k equals 12, well, now we can actually go ahead and concretely determine the terms of these of the sequence, right? So we have 2 times 12 minus 7. That is, what's that? Think about it a bit. 24 minus 7, 17. I had it somewhere. 17, yes, it is indeed 17. Okay. Second term, k is 12 plus 8, it's 20. Okay, so the first value there is 17. Next one is 12 plus 8, that's 20. The next one is 2k, so that's 24 minus 1 is 23. Okay, and you can see here then, in a very concrete way, that I'm going to write it here because this is also an important parameter. The distance between these terms really is 3. Okay, the distance between each of these terms, that remains constant, and that's just 3. Okay, cool. And that now brings us to the final part of this important puzzle. What color should I use? See, I'm already getting bored with colors. So, what you need to know is this equation. I'm going to write it here. Equals, let's see, a plus n minus 1 d. Cool. That's important. Now, as it happens, you don't really have to know this. You've got to know that you have to use it. But they give this in the formula sheet in the exam. So, no worries there. But what we want then is the 15th term. So, more concisely, they want, oh goodness, T15. Okay, and that's going to be, well, this first term over here is A, so that's 17, and that's plus, well, 15 minus 1, and the value of D we calculated here. Oops, that is 3. So it's 17 plus 14 times 3, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is 54. 59. Cool, 5 marks, easy. So, important things to sort of reflect upon. We're given an arithmetic sequence. We're given the first 3 terms, and we have this unknown k. So we know that we have to solve it, right? Because there's no k in our final equation that we have to use, okay? We need a concrete d. We need the d that we calculated here. But to compute the concrete d, we first need to solve k. So this whole left part here, to the left, is done to solve k. Okay? And what's important, we used this property over here to really solve it. Once we had the value of k, well, we could drag along, plug it in here, and really compute these values. And then we saw, well, the difference between these different values is each time just a constant value of 3. So very, very simple. And then at the end, it was just a matter of plugging the right numbers into the equation. Cool. 5 marks, easy. And for the last example, or the last part of the example, what they want to know is the sum of the first 30 even terms, okay? That's why it's so important when you get to exam, and even when you're flustered like hell, is you have to pick up these things. You have to catch the word even, otherwise it's not going to be right. Cool? 4 marks. Let's go. Okay, let me just think where I was to start off with. Okay. What I want to do is just start off by writing out a little bit of the sequence as we just calculated previously, okay? So we know we started at 17, we went to 20 because each time we just sort of add 3, 23, 26, 29, 32, blah, 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 blah. And so what they're asking us is just to summate the first 20 even numbers of the sequence. Okay? To do that, I'm going to sort of make a subset of this and just pull out the even numbers. So we're going to have a new sequence, right? A subsequence that's going to contain 20, 26, 32, and so on. Cool. Now, immediately we apply this equation again, right? So we know we've got this guy to solve here. Equals a plus n minus 1 d. Okay. Well, the d is easy to take out of here, because that's just d equals 26 minus 20. That's 6. And the a, well, that's just this guy over here. So the generic formula for this sequence is 20 plus n minus 1 times 6. Okay? There we have it. And the last important thing we need to do to get the 4 marks is to apply this generic formula. Now, this is the second important formula you need to know how to apply. And luckily for you, it's also given in the formula sheet. Okay? I'm going to write it out in its generic form, and then we apply it to this special case of n equals 30. So the formula is, give it a different color, always like doing that, as n, that's sort of for the sum, right, equals n over 2, I think, yeah, n over 2, and then there's a big bracket over here, 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Super important that you know that you have to apply it, but as I say, it's given. So the last thing we need to do, sort of plug in our numbers. So S15, oh, not 15, 30, sorry, equals, now n is 30, so this is 30 divided by 2, and we've got 2, and a was 20, right, in the sequence. We have plus 30 minus 1, and we know d is 6. Well, just replace it now. D is 6. Cool. So we've got 15 times 40 plus 29 times 6. And therefore, kind lady and gentlemen, you've got a wonderful calculator to do that. And I think that's the answer. Check it. And that is the first 18 marks of your exam paper. Wasn't too difficult. All you know that you have to read the questions to pick up these small little nuances that they hint to all the time. And for this example, we had to apply 2 formulas, as I already said, these 2 over here. And as proof, in the information sheet for mathematics, Here they are. You've just got to sort of cherry pick them out and know that you have to use them. Okay, and with that, I'm going to take a break and have a cup of tea. You should do that too.